Welcome back to Fast Monty's Garage. Today we're going to go through a product update on this oil pan protection plate I made for GM A-bodies 64 through 72 and how has it lasted on my 69 GTO. We're going to go through a design upgrade as well using CAD and my favorite sheet metal fabricator, SendCutSend.com. If you're brand new, welcome. I restored the 69 GTO and it's heavily modified. It is super low. There's a great shot of it. I took that picture in Reno, and ironically, driving home from Reno to San Diego, we stopped at a gas station and I ran over one of those filler caps that was raised up off the ground to fill the main tanks and nailed the oil pan. Scored it, and we waited like 15 minutes to see if it would leak. It didn't, so I crossed everything I have two of. Yeah, everything. It was painful. Drove 500 miles home. Put on the lift. The next morning, had a nice little puddle of oil waiting for me. Luckily for me though, I was able to RTV that corner and it solved the problem. It hasn't leaked since. Thank God. Now for some of you, like Daniel, yeah, you can't buff that out, nor can you put RTV on that to fix it. I guarantee he had to pull his engine, get a new oil pan, and possibly rebuild the engine depending how long he was running with it damaged like that. So Daniel, please leave a comment below if you can share a little bit more of that story. I'd be willing to bet that cost around $5,000 if he had to rebuild the engine. So minor investment to protect your assets right here. Now the other new news is that these are now available on my website, fastmontysgarage.com. After today's video, there's going to be 3 different styles, stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. So before we get into that, hey, consider getting a hat, shirt, join the Full Monty Club if I've ever helped you out in the past. All those proceeds go to help the channel, buying prototypes, building more parts, etc. But basically, at a minimum, you should be subscribing because that's free. And I get to make all the mistakes and you guys get to learn faster. That's how this channel works. Now, if you know of any stories of people that are A-body owners like Chevelles and Malibus and Pontiac GTOs, Tempest, Lemans, 442s, Skylarks, El Caminos. If you guys know any stories, leave a comment. Tell a story, man, because this problem is real. It actually does happen, and I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am to make a product like this to help us all out. So let's get into it. What has happened to this thing since I put it on a little over a year ago? Hey, yo. Yeah, that's some damage. So just to give you some background, this is Cerakoted. I did a video on painting it, so this is painted. But stage, let me get back into what happened here. 2 different incidents. This one would have killed my oil pan, and this one especially would have killed my oil pan. This is actually, like, there's an 1/8 inch of steel gone right here. I'll try and take a close-up of it. But there's gonna be, hopefully after today, 3 different stages of oil pan protection plates. The basic one would be a standard height A-body, so no Delrin pads on the sides. As you can see, those corners. Stage 2 is moderately low, so say up to 1 inch lower than stock. I would get the Delrin pads because you're gonna hit speed bumps on the corners and maybe in the middle, but stage 3 is exactly that. I went ahead and while this was in the car, I added some tape along the edges because what I have in my mind is like a skateboard that like when we grew up and we wanted to protect the middle of our skateboard, I can't remember what they call them, maybe skid rails or something kind of rail. So we can bolt them in and replace them if need be. So that's my intent today. Let's go ahead and jump to CAD real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in CAD, but I'm going to show you what it looks like in CAD, at least modeled up with that blue tape as the idea. Send it to SendCutSend, open that box, see how it looks, and go from there. Oh, by the way, I'm also going to show you how to install it real quick, just to give you an idea of the different height levels you can cover with the same plate. And might give you an idea if you have an oil pan ranging in height from your crossmember. So let's get to it. Welcome to Onshape.com. This is my favorite solid modeling tool because it's cloud-based. You can use it on your PC, your laptop, your iPad, your phone. It doesn't matter. All your files are in the cloud. You can access them at any time. Now, if we jump into it, here's stage 2, where I added our bolt holes for our rails and then modeled some rails And it's that simple in CAD. Once you figure it out and you know what you're doing, you can even add the bolts. Look at that. Hell yeah. In order to get this into SendCutSend's website, all we need is a flat file, and this Onshape does it for you. Look, that's the flat piece of metal. Save it off as a DXF, go to SendCutSend. This is SendCutSend.com. You can start an account. Doesn't matter what quantity you want to get. Load up your file, get some powder coating done if you need it. I love these guys. Let's go. Okay, boys and girls, the time has come. It's been about a week and a half and I just got this from SendCutSend. It's time to open the box. Now what's exciting and what's new to the website and to ordering skid plates is SendCutSend will now powder coat these for me, or for you if you want it powder coated, any one of their colors. This one is going to be texture black, which I have not seen yet. I've heard great reviews about it. It's SendCutSend's most popular black. So let's see it. Let's go. Not gonna lie, I am still a little nervous about the holes. Make sure they're all lined up and they're tapped correctly. Yeah. Licorice as usual, some stickers. That's cool, come a shiny little dealio. Oh, and a crap ton of packing. The recycling guy's gonna love me. Oh, I get a glimpse of it. Oh, ayo, look at that. Oh my gosh. And flip it over. Oh, hell yes. Oh, I love it. All the tapped holes, this texture. Let me get a close-up for you guys. This looks freaking amazing. Oh my God, I can't wait. Okay, let me get this packaging stuff out of the way. Since this is powder coated, there's a tiny bit of residue in the tapped holes, so I'm just chasing each hole with my 632 tap. And to give you a heads up, the fastener we're using is actually from McMaster-Carr. The link is on my website when you order the plate, but you have to go to McMaster-Carr to get these because they are undercut. You see how the bottom of the head is flat? And that helps it recede into the countersunk holes we have in the Delrin plates. That only took me like 5 minutes to chase all those holes. Thank God, because if you guys saw the first episode where I made the first plate and I manually tapped the holes on the corners, I broke 2 taps. Holy crap, that sucked. Anyway, here we go. Just to show that I'm not faking this. This is the batch of plates I got from SendCutSend that we modeled up in CAD. The beauty of using CAD, and if I didn't say it earlier, there is a link to Onshape below. If you're a professional engineer and want to try it for 6 months for free, you can. If you're a hobbyist, it's actually free as a hobbyist. So go check it out. That's how I started using it. Oh yes, there's the countersinks. Hell yeah. Okay, let's make sure it matches the holes. Remember, we did this in CAD. It should match perfectly. Oh, hell yes. Look at that. Can you guys see how the holes are lining up just perfectly? Oh, that's badass. Okay, next step is kind of tedious because I recommend you get some blue Loctite and put it on the tip there and go to work. Here we go. Oh, that's looking so good. Woo! I don't want to install it now because I know it's going to get scratched up. But see how the holes are countersunk? That's why we needed the flat bottoms on the heads so it can get recessed in there. That allows you some time to wear these out without damaging the screws. Then you can replace the plates. So this is going to protect against like speed bumps and normal stuff. Obviously heavy impacts. These might get torn off. That's fine. That's what it's for, boys and girls. We don't want our oil pan damaged. Woo, man, this looks so good. Okay, next step, we need to get this in the car. I'm going to show you how to mock it up and what I use or what I prefer that you use to install it. So let's get to it. Before we mount it, I want to show you there's 4 mounting holes, 2 on the front and then 1 on each winglet. And notice there's an angle. So this angle here and the angle here are roughly the same. So when we're under the car, we have an option to move it up and down like this on the frame rails and the front cross member. So I'll try and make that make more sense underneath the car, but that's what's going on. I wanted to give you a little visual. So let's jump under there and show you what's up. I highly recommend using 3/8 inch fasteners that are grade 8s with lock washers and riv nuts. You have to keep in mind, our frames are only about 1/8 of an inch thick. So if you go to tap the frame, it's only going to last a few removals and you're going to probably end up stripping the threads in the frame. And that's exactly how our sway bars are mounted. And I actually converted my sway bars to riv nuts, which is a dramatic difference in torque holding ability. So use riv nuts, and there's a video on the website when you order the plate that shows that's a link to the video that does where I did the riv nuts. So this is the front and the cross member after you mock up your plate. Let's jump to the rails. And here's the passenger side rail. It's the same thing on the driver's side. So to give you an idea how it looks, let's go ahead and throw the plate up there and I'll show you the rough measurements to look for. Okay, so I'm holding in place and I have about, I don't know, 1/4 inch from the oil pan, and you can slide it down the rails before you select your mounting holes, and notice the clearance has grown where my finger is, and I'm still touching the front of the cross member and the side rails, and I can get about another, I don't know, say 1.5 inches of space in between the front cross member and the oil pan. Well, obviously you want to get as tight as possible without touching, and that's my location right there. So hopefully that gives you guys some ideas on flexibility for your height. Let me mount it up and I'll take some other dimensions for you guys to show you more up close. For those of you with eagle eyes, you probably noticed the mounting holes are slotted. They are slotted for a reason, because you don't have to be super accurate with your elevation on your bolts. Obviously you want to be as close as possible. And I'm just reiterating here, these are finger loose. Check it out. You can actually slide it into position to get even closer fit to your oil pan to make sure you are as close as possible. That's why those bolts are slotted. So I might as well measure it. So this is on the lowest point of the slots based on where I have the bolts. So we're, let's call it 7/16 away from the oil pan in the back. And then when we slide it forward on the slots, notice it goes up, and now we're about 1/8. So that's a pretty big difference. That gives you some more freedom to mount it at the perfect location. So I'm at the 3/16. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten the front bolts and then do the side bolts. All right, I'm bolted in. Got my 3/16. Oh, actually, I'm looking at that wrong. I'm like 5/16. So 1/4 plus 16, 5/16. Okay, if you're wondering, it's 16 inches from bend to bend, and it should mirror exactly where your transmission mounts to your engine and all A bodies. I think that's the same dimension. And something else to note, if you have a scatter shield, it might dip down below. You could quite literally have this resting on the scatter shield when you mount it. Remember we talked about the elevation change? That will add another level of support in the back. So if anything should hit, that just increases your safety. If you guys ever want me to do like a modification, minor modifications, I'll consider it, including lengthening the back or shortening the back. This back lip on the stage 3 is a little shorter than 1 and 2. This is about 7/8 of an inch from the bend. If you want me to go longer or shorter, I can only go probably another 1/8 inch shorter. But I think this is a great idea to have it rest on the scatter shield, and that makes me think maybe I should get one. That is looking tough, boys and girls. Whew, now I just got to get out and drive it, huh? Dang. Well, I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you guys are considering protecting your oil pans. If you have an A-body, just go hit up fastmontiesgarage.com. If you have any modification questions, hit me up, fastmontysgarage@gmail.com, and we can take it from there. But other than that, just as a reminder, all 3 stages are available with powder coat. After you hit powder coat, I will send you an email asking you what color you'd like to choose, and we can go from there. So until next time, build them fast, drive them faster. See ya. Oh yeah.